Okay, I'm gonna come clean and mention something to you guys. And if you are just here because of the Dallas Cowboys video, then I guess you know something about me that most people won't watch. I am not a Dallas Cowboy hater. I'm sorry, I'm not. I just like poking fun at them. I don't have that hatred. Now, there are 1.5 teams that I do have a hatred for. One is New Orleans. And it's a little bit more than just being a Buccaneer fan in the same division as the Saints. But I do have a disdain for the Saints. And it goes beyond. The only thing I like about New Orleans is probably the food. Their journalism, their fan base, their players. It's just one of the things where it's like, we are never going to get along if we're in the same room. But when the Saints are playing the Chiefs or whatever, we're fine. But when we play each other, it's going to be like, you stay on that side of the couch and I sit here. And whatever happens, happens. Let's be civil, which we never will be. Dallas, on the other hand, I never got that hatred. It's just so much fun to make fun of them. Watching the videos of the Cowboy fans' reaction when they smash their TVs, or it's Texas, they pull out their guns and they shut out their TVs because they made money in oil so they can just buy another TV tomorrow, whatever. You know, Jerry Jones and his random thought process. We're going, no, Jerry, it's not going to work this time. It's fun, it's fun, it's fun. But I don't hate them. Funny enough, when they played the Packers in the divisional round, the so-called Des Bryant didn't catch a game, I was rooting for the Cowboys because I wanted them to go to the conference championship game. For nothing else, just saying I want them to. I was, sometime when your team's on the playoffs, you become a fan of a team and you root for them. It happened. Last year was Seattle for me. It wasn't the Patriots. And I don't hate the Patriots either. So get that off the back. I was actually rooting for them when Tom Brady was first brought in and they beat the Rams in 2021. In 2001, sorry. I'm old. So I don't get the hate. So it's still fun to make fun of the Cowboys. Hey everybody, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic, and welcome back. We're concluding the NFC East of our 2026 draft recap, and we're talking about the Cowboys. Like I said, I'm not a hater. It's good to make fun of them. And their draft class seems solid, as they have to answer questions about Micah Parsons. Miss him yet? Let's talk about him. I feel we can all agree, in my recap video I addressed it, but also a lot of people also addressed it. The Cowboys offense looked pretty solid, but the defense was such a wet blanket, was so much of the downfall of the Cowboys that even with the success they did offensively, man, you almost had to bribe a politician just to get a stop to force a punt. And it was very apparent that Micah Parsons probably covered up a lot. And some players like Diggs and others, age catches up to us all. And Diggs, whether it's age, injury, what have you, it caught up to him. So now the Cowboys are not rebuilding. I don't think they're in rebuilding mode. As long as Dak Prescott plays as well as he did, the question will be, how soon can we fix the defense? And this draft class, the whole class, not just the Cowboys picks, were full of defensive talent everywhere. And with 2 first-round picks, the Cowboys says, let's get to work. And I think they got a steal in their first pick. With the 11th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys selected Caleb Downs, safety, the Ohio State. I was fearful, not at the time, that they were going to get Ruben Bain because he just happened to fall. The Bucks got him at 15, but I really thought they're going to get Ruben Bain. Talk about the perfect need to replace Michael Parsons. Ruben Bain. Get him. He's right there. Get him. Get him. Get him. Because there've been reports that the Bucks were looking at Caleb Downs. So in a parallel universe, maybe the Cowboys did get Ruben Bain and the Bucks got Caleb Downs. But I think we're both happy either way, Dallas and Bucks fans. If the Cowboys got Ruben Bain, I don't think a lot of Cowboy fans will be as upset. And I don't think if Caleb Downs went to Tampa, now the Bucks fans will still be upset because the Bucks fans hate Todd Bowles. So, yeah, we'll deal with that another time. But Caleb Downs, I thought he was going to go to the Giants at number 10. And then one pick later, ta-da! Cowboys get him. And what's funny is that it was a trade with Miami. Because there were certain division foes that were considering getting down, so you had to address it. I really thought, regardless of it, it was going to be a pass rusher because the Micah Parsons absence was so apparent. But they went with Caleb Downs, and it's not getting the pass rusher need for the Cowboys and then getting Caleb Downs is like barely 2-point difference, in my opinion, of what the Cowboys got and what they should have gotten. This Caleb Downs is your Rob Woodson. He is your captain. He is his intangible. He is your Malcolm Jenkins. Like, he is that type of guy. And with the amount of picks you guys got, I mean, you got Quinnen Williams from the Jets. You got Gary from the Packers. Also, you got Kenny Clark, obviously. It just feels like you got other players that were drafted that are developing nicely, slower than you probably expected, but they're developing nicely. That just feels like, okay, maybe the pass rusher is not as desperate of a need as we thought, but we are still thinking about it. So maybe that's probably why, especially when they got Rashad Gary from the Packers, funny enough. They were like, okay, we're going to address other need, and with Diggs gone, I thought they might go corner, but Caleb Downs was probably one of the best defensive backs in the class, so they went with the obvious choice. So good, solid pickup for the Cowboys. And don't want to give Jerry Jones too much credit because this young man is still Jerry Jones, but not bad, man. Not bad. Solid. And could work out for you. Just saying. Then, in the first round still, with the 23rd overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys selected Machai Lawrence, edge, UCF. Okay, two things. One, he's from Central Florida. I have family that graduated from Central Florida, so by default, whoop, local guy gets drafted to the big franchise NFL. Whoop, let's all cheer. And I thought he was going to come to Tampa, but then we got Ruben Bain, so of course every pass rusher after that was off our board. So yeah. And for a guy it's in the Big 12, but UCF still has that small school, oh, look at you, you're a small school. Yes, you're a small school. You was a small school. You were. Him still getting drafted this high and still being ranked top 10 in his position. He's ranked 9th in the edge rusher department. No, he is not Micah Parsons 2.0. No. But his intangibles, his tenacity, he's too valuable not to give him the credit he deserves. I mean, UCF defensively, when I think of Central Florida college football, I think of offensive players, not defense, especially not this high. So to me, Lawrence is coming into a team that has a bunch of young players still trying to find themselves. He has a couple of veterans that were first-round picks that came from other teams, now going with the Cowboys. He is going to be the nice change of pace pass rusher. Don't be surprised if his rookie year on rotation he has like 5.5 sacks. Don't be surprised. Maybe a couple of forced fumbles here and there. But don't be surprised if he actually shows so much promise on a rotation. Like I said, I don't think he's going to replace anybody starter wide unless there's an injury. So on rotation, watch out. If he has 5.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, do not be surprised if he shows up high potential in his first rookie year. But they were not done with pass rushers. No, no, no. When you replace Micah Parsons, you must replace him with 2. So in the third round, they did. With a 92nd overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys selected Jashawn Barham, edge, Michigan. Now, Michigan has had a very strong success of defensive powers. I think they know how to evaluate young talent, and even the one that did not develop to Aiden Hutchinson level, still value nonetheless. And I feel, like I said, they did get Lawrence, but this just feels just as valuable. He is ranked 13th in his position, 75 grade, but for a late third round pick, probably need some intangibles, but I'm thinking that they want juice. They want that, yes! They want the guy who's willing to work and fight for it. Now, he probably won't get as much attention as Lawrence, but do not be surprised if he gets plays here and there. Now, the cool thing is that both Lawrence and Braham are going to play a lot in preseason. Obviously, starters don't play preseason much. So if these two just start, wrecking offensive tackles, making tackle for losses, deflecting pass here and there, all it's going to do is make Cowboy fans happy. Because one thing I like that I feel like a lot of teams are maybe not really, or maybe they are realizing, if your starter goes down and your backup is underdeveloped, or your rotation players is not as there, it's going to hinder the defensive productivity. Weird way, you kind of want your backup to be, either a change of pace. One is more of a bull rush, the other one's more of a spin move kind of guy. But also, you kind of want it when he gets in, whether on rotation or, need a breather, that he's not going to be the weak link. You know how it is when a new corner comes in, most time they go after the new corner, regardless if he's a rookie or a 5-year vet. They'll go after him and be like, well, he's not the starter, so let's go after him. So to me, for the Cowboys, they kind of want to get people with high energy, high juice, but also nothing that'll be like, so when he's out, our energy of pass rusher drops. So to me, they double up on it because it's kind of hard to replace Michael Parsons with just one man. But like I said, they did a solid job in free agency, so they're good. Then we go to the fourth round with the 112th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Dallas Cowboys selected Drew Shelton, offensive tackle, Penn State. Is he still going to be an offensive tackle, or they're going to move him? We all know that the Cowboys felt like for a while they always been managed to draft offensive linemen. They got Steele. They got Guyton. They got Guyton from Oklahoma in 2024. They got Steele. It was a Texas. No, I'm sorry. That was was it Tyler Smith from Tulsa? Yeah, okay. It was Tyler Smith from Tulsa. My apologies. I see Tyler Smith, Terrence Steele, so my dyslexia, I guess, kicked in. The T first name, S last name, and it went from... Okay, I get confused. But they have been addressing their offensive linemen, and sometime they drafted players like Guyton and Smith were players that a lot of people feel like... and they have shown promise. Now, I believe Tyler was a tackle, and they moved him to guard from Tulsa, I believe so. But they're still addressing the offensive linemen. And to me, when they're getting Drew, they currently have him as the backup right tackle for Steele, who is right now at 29 years old. Been in the league for 7 years. Now, we all know, offensive lineman history is always a big factor to consider. Once you reach that near 10-year thing, you want to start thinking about the investment for the future. So to me, Drew Shelton is going to a team, and the Cowboys have been very successful developing offensive linemen season in, season out, even when some of their best ones just happen to disappear, whether it's because of injuries or retirement. So I'm not looking at this as a wasted pick because they've been very solid at addressing their offensive linemen. Some, when a lot of experts and analysts says, I don't know about the guy, he's kind of underdeveloped, needs better technique, and the Cowboys like, shut up, watch me work. So to me, good solid pickup. Then we go 2 picks later in the 4th round with the 114th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Dallas Cowboys selected Devin Moore, corner, Florida. Another player that I thought the Buccaneers were going to get when they were addressing the corners. But they addressed the defensive back, and I think, or corner, pardon me, can't help it, but this guy is 6'3". Diggs' absence. Bland, did he kind of drop off? Or Deron Blaine? Sorry. Funny enough, they have Caleb Down viewed here as a nickel. In the depth chart, they have him viewed as a nickel, Caleb Downs. So we'll see. So yeah, we'll see. But they have Devin Moore as the backup to Bland. So my guess is they're probably looking to see, did Bland drop off? Is Bland going the same direction as Diggs, where he had a promising earlier few years, and now he's starting to come back to earth? Kind of lost a step here and there. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But to me, Devin Moore was such a valuable asset for Florida that a lot of teams were considering him anyway. It's just that I thought he would have been picked up in the 3rd round, honestly. But he dropped to the Cowboys' lap, and I think they're not going to say no. And with Caleb Downs as your, like I said, he's viewed as a nickel, but I thought it was a safety. I don't see him anywhere else on the depth chart. I don't even see him as a backup to Strong or Free. So we'll see what, the season goes on. We'll see what happens. But maybe this was just like, he's a good, viable asset. We don't have to force him in. We're good. Diggs out and Duran, maybe. Best for the future. See what happens. Rotation. Make your mark in special teams. There you go. Then we go to still in the 4th round. Wow, it's a lot of 4th round picks. With the 137th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys selected LT Overton, edge Bama. That's just a kick-ass name. LT Overton. Sounds like a WWE. LT Overton. Like that's a kick-ass name. Your parents are probably superheroes. Not just because they're parents, but because the names are awesome. 6'3", 274. Ooh, a little bit bigger than I thought. A little heavier for a left tackle. I mean, for left. His name is LT. His LT, and I thought a left tackle. My brain went there, but he's actually an edge. Do they have him as... The Cowboys run a 3-4. Are they going to put him defensive line? No, they have him as the weak side linebacker behind Braum, the Michigan guy they just drafted, and of course, recently acquisition Rashad from the Packers. I really thought because of his size, they'll probably put him as a defensive end 3-4, with Kenny Clark and Quinn Williams, but then again, Kenny Clark and Quinn Williams are already dominant. I don't know. Maybe because I saw his weight being too come on, computer, work for me here. I saw him a little heavier for an edge at 274. That maybe I thought he'll be more line. But yeah, they have him here as the weak side. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't hate the pick. It's just one of those things where like, oh, okay, cool. I like what you're doing. And then we go to the 7th round, long down the line, with the last pick too, with the 218th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Dallas Cowboys selected Anthony Smith, wide receiver, East Carolina. So, George Pickens looked promising. CeeDee Lamb is still dominating. Turbin still there. Good story from Turbin. So still proud. As long as he stays in the league, the more I'm happy. They do have MVS, Tyler Johnson. They still got some players in their depth chart, and Anthony Smith is currently viewed In the third area, eh, East Carolina has produced some very promising, talented players in the past, so I'm not going to even give a disrespect East Carolina by saying it's East Carolina. Yeah, Chris Johnson came from East Carolina. Shut up. Do not look at it like that. So, he's 6'3", 189. I mean, they don't really need a wide receiver, but my thought process is that there are a bunch of veterans that are still wandering around, like MVS and Tyler. Turpin, I don't see him as a solid number 3, but I do see him as interchangeable and definitely a valuable in the return game. And right now they have Lamb and Pickens and Ryan Florian. He was a 6th-round pick out of SE Mizzou. And that was in 2024. So yeah, so they still have value, but I'll probably say there's still plenty of spot for even number 3. So if Anthony Smith take advantage of opportunities, who knows? I believe he'll make the roster, being one of the younger talented player versus the other veterans. But don't be surprised if he fights for that number 3 spot, or at worst, number 4. Because I believe that Turpin is valuable, but I don't think he's a solid receiver. I feel like he's just a talented athlete that can be utilized successfully. And that concludes the draft. The player I am most excited about. Give me Lawrence. Give me hometown hero UCF. Biggest thing is for him I'm excited about is, well, okay, one, local UCF, local area. Family went to the school there, so okay, hometown biases, got it. 2, he is the first genuine acquisition draft that the Cowboys had since Micah Parsons, in hopes of developing some stability in the pass rush department. We all know that Lawrence is not coming in to be Micah Parsons. You can't be Micah Parsons. Either you are or you're not. But they want Lawrence to bring that, they brought Javian Clowney to hopefully do something, and it didn't really do much. So this is their first, we are addressing the need now. Yes, they addressed it in free agency, but this is the first draft that they address it to, kind of like when they drafted Micah Parsons. We're addressing it by drafting it, and they're addressing it by drafting it. And Lawrence, yeah, so like I said, I'm not hoping that I'm not hoping. I'm not saying that he's there because of it, but he's there because of it. Grade for the Cowboys. Remember, I go based on draft alone, so I cannot just emphasize the draft is solid. But I can say they're contenders. Maybe I'll say it when I do the preview for the year. But right now, they're better. Way better. I will put them up there with the Commanders. I think if Philadelphia think they got this division locked, they need to look behind them. Because if the Cowboys and the Commanders, just their rookie class, develop even 60% of the overall potential of the players they got, that's probably 3 extra wins on each team's team. And if the players that they got injured or they got free agency develop well, that's probably 3 extra wins. That's probably 6 new wins in these teams' category. And if Philadelphia takes them lying down, they're going to get popped in the mouth just by these rookies on these 2 teams. But for Cowboys, you're better. But I'm telling you, you are so much better. I just can't say contenders. So understand, being better doesn't mean you're mid. It means that you are B+, A- level. When I say better, it means that I'll be able to tolerate you watching you play your primetime games and not just go, oh yeah, they're playing. Too bad half the team is injured or half the team sucks. At least I can enjoy watching you as a non-Cowboy fan. And that concludes the NFC East. We are going to the AFC North. Yes, I'm still keeping you on your toes. And the team we're going to talk about first is the team that, had 18 years of Harbaugh and now decided to go a different flavor. We're talking about Baltimore first when we talk about the AFC North, and that will be the start of that new journey together. But until then, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you so very much for watching.